The Celtic Forever podcast is a zero advert and zero profit channel. The channel also includes Celtic highlights and player interviews, so join the uninterrupted fun and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome to the Celtic Forever podcast. Today it's just me again, it's John. Sandra will be back on Monday hopefully, we'll see how things go there. Because the longer he's away, the more you have to listen to my droning voice, and that's never a good thing, even for myself. But anyway, look forward to seeing you back, Xander. So let's get on with the news. I'll just keep it short today. Obviously the main news is Wilfried Nancy is now on board as Celtic manager, so we welcome him to the fore. It's good to have you on board, Wilfried. I watched his interview on Celtic TV on YouTube channel there. He's an interesting guy, very passionate about the game, of course. It was really interesting listening to him. I also watched one of his interviews from his days in MLS on YouTube. Interesting to say the least. He loses his plot a wee bit. Not his plot, he loses the plot a wee bit. And it's interesting. I like listening to the guy. He's very interesting to listen to. It's always good to have a manager, you know, that has you interested in what he's saying. Martin O'Neill was like that. Ange Postecoglou was like that, and I think Wilfried Nancy is going to be like that. So yeah, all I can say is welcome that guy on board, and a fond farewell, of course, to Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney. They left us the other night there after the Dundee game, so they're gone. And we can, once again, everybody, we can only say a big thanks to Martin and Sean Maloney. I think both of them did a fantastic job there. They got us right back up to the top of the league, well, joint top of the league for the present time anyway. That might change at the weekend, we don't know, but Martin and Sean, fantastic job. Really proud of them. I'm really chuffed that Martin took over and put us in the position we're in. But we can only hope that Wilfried Nancy and his backroom team will get us back to the top of the league, back to the top of the league on Sunday where we belong, because we can't underestimate how huge this game is at the weekend against Hearts. It's a big game. This would put us 3 points above Hearts if we win this. If we draw it, of course, we're still level on points. Hearts have got the superior goal difference. Not seen that for a long time with Celtic, a team having a superior goal difference over us. So things need to change on that front with Celtic. But anyway, let's get straight into the Hearts game. So Hearts are coming to Celtic Park. Slightly off form, you could say. I mean, they haven't won a game in a few. It's not a good time for them to come to Celtic Park. Although I think the timing of Wilfried Nancy coming on board, I think that could have been left till Monday and given Martin this game. I mean, I just think Martin had the team full of confidence. There was a real togetherness. Then a new manager comes in. Look, we don't know. Maybe Wilfried's got them. I don't know. A great togetherness right now. We don't know. But we'll wait and see, because the game's on Sunday, of course. It's a 3 o'clock kick-off Sunday afternoon. And the betting odds for this game, looking at it, obviously Hearts haven't won in a few. You've got Celtic 8-15. So Celtic are favourites in that one, 8-15. The draw is 3-1. And Hearts to win this one is 9-2. So it's quite close, you know, there's not much in it. But it's not overwhelming odds like we normally see with Celtic against Hearts at Celtic Park. For obvious reasons, of course, Hearts have started the league really well. Start to slide a little bit now. Maybe the belief's gone out of their hearts, literally. But we're looking forward to the game anyway, guys. Celtic are the favourites to win this one. This is via Paddy Power, by the way. I'm not a gambling man myself, but Xander normally does these kind of odds for the game, but that is the odds anyway. Celtic slight favourites to win this one. There's not much in it, of course, but yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. It's going to be an interesting one. I think because Hearts are off form, I think we can't underestimate that team coming to Celtic Park, because they're still a good team, but Celtic should be turning over Hearts at Celtic Park. I know Hearts are a half decent team, but I've always said I think Hibs right now are a better team than Hearts. I also think teams like Motherwell are a better team than Hearts. I think Hearts can find themselves a wee bit fortunate to be sitting at the top of the league, but there you go, that's just my opinion anyway. You may have a different opinion. I just don't see what all the fuss is about with Hearts. Obviously they're at the top of the league for a reason, but what I've seen of them so far, even against Celtic, Celtic gifted them a win at Tynecastle, absolutely gifted them a win. I just don't think that Hearts team are any great shakes at all. Let's hope the togetherness is there for Celtic on Sunday against Hearts. But interesting game anyway, one we're all looking forward to, expecting a full house for this one. And I'll just give quickly starting lineup for this one. I think Sriracha was injured against Dundee. Don't know how bad that is. I know he went off, but I'm going to say Kasper Schmeichel, not Carter Vickers, I keep saying Carter Vickers, but Kasper Schmeichel, Austin Trusty, Liam Scales. Right hand side, Donovan will start this one again. I thought he was quite poor against Dundee, to be honest with you, Donovan, but I think he'll start this one again. I think Anthony Ralston, when he plays, is always a target for Hearts. But so there you go, I'm going to pick Donovan. I'm going to say Schmeichel's, Trusty, Scales, Donovan and Kieran Tierney. I'm not sure if Sriracha's still injured. I've not seen anything about that, but I've got a feeling he'll be out for this one, so I'm going to say Kieran Tierney, centre of the park. Cal McGregor, Rio Hatate and Arnie Engels, who's still playing well, Arnie Engels just now. So that's my midfield three, and up front, Dyson Maeda, Yang. I think Yang's playing well just now still. So Dyson, Yang, and on the right hand side, I know Martin fancied Luke McCowan, but like I keep saying, Luke McCowan's not a right-sided winger. He just is not a right-sided winger. I thought he was poor against Dundee the other night, and I just don't think he should be starting in that position. I know he's a good player, but he's definitely not a right winger. I think that weakens Celtic slightly when he plays out there. Good player that he is, playing out of position, it doesn't suit him. But so on the right, I seen Wilfried Nancy going over to James Forrest in the training complex up at Lennoxtown. Maybe that was an early friendship, patting him on the back and all that stuff. I'll go for a James Forrest starting this one. I've been wrong every time I've said James Forrest for the past 3 games, but that was with Martin in charge. This is a different manager, of course. The team could be totally different. Wilfried Nancy may see something different at training. I don't know, but look, it's a huge game against Hearts. A big game. Biggest game of the season so far. We're all looking forward to it, and that's just my predicted starting 11, but we'll see what Wilfried goes with, guys. But looking at the game in total here, this is a revenge mission for Celtic, I think. For me anyway, it's a revenge mission because look, that game at Tynecastle, they celebrated like they'd won the league. There was a big party at Tynecastle and all that stuff, big party atmosphere. Now we've caught up with them, it's time to put things right and show them why we're champions. I can only finish it by saying that we've got to give them hell in Celtic Park on Sunday. The crowd have got to be really behind the team and treat this like a derby match. There's got to be a big atmosphere. I'm looking forward to it. I think there will be a big atmosphere. I think the Celtic fans know how important this game is. So yep, I'm expecting a full house. I'm expecting 60,000 Celtic fans there, and of course the Hearts ticket allocation, I'm not sure what they get for Celtic Park, but if it's a percentage thing, which I don't think it is, I think Celtic should just respond in kind and give Hearts the same allocation that they give us, which is about 200 fans or something like that. Stick them away in that wee corner right behind that restricted viewing post in the main stand. Obviously don't have them in the main stand, but you know what I mean. If you're sitting in the way end, there's a big pole that supports the roof on the main stand. Sit them in there right behind the restricted viewing. Give them 150, 200 fans. That's what they deserve. I mean, giving Celtic that amount of tickets, it's unbelievable. And look, I forgot to mention the Hibs, by the way, slashing Celtic's ticket allocation. After we gave them about 12,000 tickets for Celtic Park for the Cup game, you remember that, everybody? We gave them about 12,000 tickets for Celtic Park last season for the Cup game, and they were fantastic, good fans, the Hibs fans, nothing against them. But there you go, we gave them 12,000 tickets and they responded by giving us half of a stand at Easter Road for that game. I know I'm going right off track here, but I'm just thinking about Edinburgh teams, how they're treating Celtic fans right now. So we should just basically treat them all the way they treat us, give them the same allocation they give us. That's all we can do. And Hearts with 150, 200 fans at Celtic Park, they'll be lost, you won't even hear them. I think that's what should happen when it comes to the game on Sunday at Celtic Park. I don't know what their allocation is, but Celtic should start responding in kind when it comes to this type of stuff. But anyway, that kind of covers it for me. Give them hell, boys. Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock kick-off. Celtic versus Hearts. Can't wait for it, guys. But that's about it. In regards to that, I can't really say any more than that, apart from a score prediction. Xander's not given me a score prediction, but you'll leave one in the comments. But I'm going to say Celtic's got to react to that game at Tynecastle. I think they will. I certainly hope they will. But I'm going to say 3-1 for Celtic. 3-1 Celtic. Xander will leave his guess in the comments. I forgot to get his score prediction off him, but he'll leave it in the comments, so don't worry about that, guys. And that leads us into the competition, actually. The big league table competition that you can see on the left hand side of your screen there. There's 25 members in it. Some aren't getting their guesses in, some are forgetting. You need to remember, every week you'll lose 3 points if you don't get your guess in. Not that you would get it right every week anyway, but you'll miss your chance of 3 points. But anyway, to all the regulars that do get their guesses in time, league competition, correct score competition for the big league table. Get your guess in. Don't forget to get your guess in, because you don't want to miss out on your 3 points. At the top of the table, we've got Roseanne, Mad Scotsman I think it is, Collins and myself, all on 9 points. Then we've got a few on 6 points, and then we've got another few on 3 points, and there's still some to get their name on the board. But don't forget to get your guess in, guys, for the competition. That is the correct score for Sunday. Celtic versus Hearts. Big game. Get your guesses into the comments. I'm looking forward to seeing what people think this is going to be. But like I said earlier, everybody, even for the competition, don't underestimate Hearts. Try and think about this one. This is going to be a tricky game. Anything can happen. We've seen Hearts turning up at Celtic Park and turning us over. Was it last season or the season before? I can't remember, but they turned us over 2-0, I think it was. So look, Hearts are always a tricky team to play against. Off form, on form, doesn't matter. Always a tricky team. They always raise their game against Celtic. So there you go, guys. Don't forget, get your name into the competition, the league table, or into the comments for the big league table. Looking forward to it, everybody. Looking forward to see what you think. And just quickly touching on the Dundee game midweek. Not much to say about it. It was kind of boring, that game. Never really enjoyed that one. I expected more for Martin O'Neill's big send-off, but no, it turned out a very lacklustre performance from Celtic. I don't think the team performed very well at all. Maybe they were a wee bit sad Martin was leaving. I really don't know, everybody, but it was a poor performance, I thought. But look, we got the win over the line. It finished, of course, Celtic 1, Dundee 0. Goal from Dyson Maeda. Very brave Dyson there, going in for the header. Clashes heads with the Dundee defender. Dyson's face is all swollen up after that, but he's very brave. He's off the park for about 10 minutes, I think. Dyson Maeda, he goes right down the tunnel for treatment, gets all his tests done, and comes back on with the bandage on his head and his eye all swollen. But the absolute bravery of Dyson, what a finish it was. Diving header, clashes heads, unfortunately for Dyson, but he'll be alright for the game against Hearts on Sunday. But nothing really else much to say. Celtic kind of dominated the game. Dundee had a few chances themselves. I thought the Dundee goalkeeper should have been sent off, to be honest with you. I think he's touching the ball outside the box. He picks the ball up right outside the box, about 3 yards outside the box. I don't think it's a free kick on the keeper. But look, he's picked the ball up. I don't think it's a free kick. I think Dyson was flagged for offside as well, or something like that, but she wasn't offside. For me, that should have been a red card, everybody. I don't know what you think. Me personally, watching it at the time, I haven't watched the replays, mind you, but at the time watching it, I thought the goalkeeper should have been off. What do you think, guys? There's nothing much more to say on the Dundee game, by the way. Nothing much to talk about. I thought it was a really poor game, and look, Celtic get the 3 points. That's the main thing. It got its neck and neck with Hearts in the league table. We're second in the league right now, or joint top if you like, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. I would have liked a few more goals to claw back that goal difference that Hearts have got on us right now. They've got a superior goal difference by a few goals. So yeah, I think 1-0, we'll take it. It gets us joint top, and like I says, there's nothing really much happened in the game to get excited about. Sriracha, of course, he picked up a knock in the game. We'll miss him on Sunday unless he's back in time. Don't know what the injury was. Looked like he was holding his hamstring. I really don't know, everybody, but yeah, we can only hope he's back in time for Sunday. Can't see it myself right enough. I think Kieran will start the game But anyway, that's all I can take out the Dundee game. An injury to Sriracha, a head knock for Dyson, a lacklustre game, and a 1-0 win that puts us joint top. Happy days, guys, we'll take it. We move on to the next game, and that's all I've really got to say today. I'll read out a few comments. A few people left a few comments in the last podcast, so we'll read them out from there. And we'll start with Roseanne, and Roseanne says, I think Martin and Sean gave our boys a wonderful lift when they needed it. I've loved having them, me as well, Roseanne. It was absolutely fantastic having Martin O'Neill and Sean Maloney. You had that feeling when you were watching Celtic that they were going to win. That's the feeling they brought back for me, Roseanne. They bring back that feeling, we're going to win this game. I was full of confidence going into every game that they were in charge of. I know we lost 3-0 to Midtjylland, but they're top of the Europa League. I think Celtic should have beat them, Roseanne, but I agree with you. They did give our boys a big lift, but we should be turning over a team like Midtjylland. I just thought that. I said that weeks ago. We shouldn't be getting beat by a team like Midtjylland, but there was a lot of turmoil at the club at that time, Roseanne, when Martin had that was his first game in Europe for this spell in charge of Celtic. But he got Feyenoord away from home and he did a great job there. I think Feyenoord's a better team than Midtjylland. Martin managed to get a result there, Roseanne, so I totally agree with you, Roseanne. I think they did give the team a big lift. It was fantastic. Anyway, Roseanne, thank you very, very much for your comment. Always great to hear from you, sorry. Don't forget to get your guess in, Roseanne. Remember, you're sitting at the top of that league table, joint top. There's 4 on the same points, so get your guess in, Roseanne, and thank you very much. She also guessed 3-0 against Dundee. Unlucky, Roseanne, and thanks again. UDF says 3-1 against Dundee. Hard luck. Expected more myself, expected more than 1-0, but there you go, it wasn't. One club since 1888 says superb, John, and totally agree about Martin O'Neill comments, and is 100% fit for any manager's job. That was in regards to, I think it was Slabber and Cabbage says Martin O'Neill shouldn't be at Celtic kind of thing because he's too old. He never says them exact words, but that was the gist there. And thanks anyway, one club since 1888, and that was a nonsense comment from Slab and Cabbage, to be honest with you. A guy that normally leaves a half decent comment, but that wasn't one of them. Anyway, Bernard Britton says St Martin, thanks for that, Bernard. Peter Hendry says sometimes you don't know what you've got until it's gone. Thank you, Martin O'Neill. Let's put a show on for a true legend. He thought 5-1. Thanks for that, Peter. Always good to see you, mate. Don't forget to get your guess in for the league table. We would never sell our club, says O'Neill. Will be sorely missed and has steadied the ship big time. And I always wondered how Celtic would have fared out if Rodgers was still in charge, and I don't think we would be in this position if Rodgers was still here, in terms of domestic and in Europe. I agree with that, by the way. We would never sell a club. And I do wonder, I have thought myself, how would Brendan Rodgers have coped with being that far behind Hearts in the league? I think it gave the players a big lift. I really do. I think it gave the players a big lift when Brendan Rodgers left and Martin O'Neill came in. There was a big freshness about the team, and I just hope they don't lose that with Wilfried Nancy in charge. That's all I can say. Thanks for your comment. We would never sell a club. Fat Boy thought 4-1 against Dundee. Thanks for that, Fat Boy. Unlucky as well. Donegal Doll, who's still to get points on the board, and she thought 4-0 against Dundee, and she agreed we should keep Martin O'Neill, lock him in. Sadly, Donegal Doll, Martin's away, pal. I mean, need to live with it, but thanks for your comment anyway. He's been locked out, sadly. Colin Stewart says, I agree, John. Should have waited to after the Hearts game, and he thought 3-0. Aye, Collins, it's I think maybe there's a few on the same side here. I think Celtic should have waited till after the Hearts game. I really think it was bad timing bringing in Wilfried Nancy on the Thursday there. I think it should have waited until after the Hearts game and got him on board on Monday. But look, it's happened now. Wilfried's on board. We can only get right behind him and give him our full backing, Collins. That's all I can say. But yeah, I definitely think we should have waited until the Monday and given Martin the Hearts game, because I think I would have went into the Hearts game full of confidence, if Wilfried was Martin was in charge. But sadly he's away now, Collins, and that's it. We've got a new man on board and we can only wish him the best, and let's see what he brings to the table against Hearts. Thanks anyway, Collins. Always good to hear from you, of course. Don't forget to get your guess in. Martin Nichols says it's under UK, well, it's left in, I don't know what, I need to try and read that. Martin leaves his comments quite cryptic. Left in, good, and sorry Martin, don't know what you're saying. God of the pods, I don't understand that. And he says, Martin, we love you. So he says gods of the pods and he's glad Martin was on board, etc. And he loves Martin O'Neill. Totally, Martin, totally agree with you. And he says 4-1 against Dundee. He never knew that we were playing. Come on, Martin. How could you know Celtic were playing? Come on, mate. Thanks anyway, Martin the Hector Nickel Pickle, of course. Paul McCune says well done Celtic, thanks Paul. Paul McComb says 4-0. That was a bit optimistic, I think. I think Sanders says 5-0. Optimistic anyway. Thanks for your guess, Paul. We would never sell a club, thought 4-0 as well. I never thought it was going to be as much as that 4 and 5-0. I did think it would be closer than that because Dundee were a form team. And Collins also says we was robbed, John, by that non-penalty. That's the Hibs game, I think Collins was talking about. Totally agree, Collins. Where are we? Just flicking through the comments. Chris D says Dallas on VAR, so I'm giving them a goal. He thought 3-1. Unlucky there, Chris. 2-1 it was. I don't think you've got any points on the board yet, Chris. Have you? I'm just checking the scoreboard. No, he's not got any points. Come on, Chris, get one on the board. Make it a big one this weekend. But there you go. He thought 3-1 against Hibs. One club since 1888 says 4-1. Unlucky, mate. Claire says 3-1. Unlucky, Claire. James Doran says score prediction 3-0 to Celtic. We're coming for you, Poppy boy. You're right there, James. Well, let's hope we're coming for him. We'll leave it there anyway, guys, with James's comment. He thinks we're coming for the Poppy boy, Derek McInnes. James, it's all tied at the top of the league, mate. We could be coming for him. I really don't know. It's going to be a tough game. It's hard to say because I've not seen Wilfried Nancy's style of play yet. So it's a tough call, everybody, because of that. I mean, chopping and changing managers at this time of the season, we've no choice in the matter. We had to steady the ship, James. But like he says, we're coming for your hearts. And we can only hope that Celtic get this over the line, James, against Hearts. It's going to be a big, big game. What I'm expecting, James, is a full house and an atmosphere like a Glasgow derby. That's what I'm expecting. I know there was a lot of empty seats against Dundee, and I never like to see that. I know the Green Brigade were banned for this, but even looking around the stadium, there was a lot of empty seats. Not as many as Ibrox, right enough, but there was a lot of empty seats. So that's always worrying when it comes to Celtic. I just hope the fans show up in their numbers at the weekend and they make this a Glasgow derby atmosphere. Make it a big game, because if the atmosphere is like a Glasgow derby, look, it's hard to raise the atmosphere like a Glasgow derby, but remember, this is a top of the league clash. It's the biggest game of the season so far, so I think there will be a good atmosphere. Is it going to be quite like a Glasgow derby? I'm not really too sure, but Hearts are our closest contenders this season and they're top of the league, so we've got to give them hell at Celtic Park. And look, I've nothing more to say on that. All I can say is Celtic players, they've got to go out there with revenge in mind. They've got to show them why Celtic are champions. They've got to play like Glasgow Celtic do play at Celtic Park on big games. They normally come out the traps pretty fast, bang in an early goal and set us up for the rest of the afternoon, get the players right behind the team. So that's what I can say on that, James. Normally I end the podcast with comments, but I've not even done the SPL fixtures, so I'm just going to quickly run through them, guys, and the scores from midweek just before I go. So tomorrow, Saturday, we've got Hibs against Falkirk. Hibs doing not bad in the league just now. I'm looking for a Hibs win there to keep the pressure on Rangers. I think they're above Rangers or same points or something like that. I can't remember, but they're very close anyway. But it's Hibs against Falkirk tomorrow. Then you've got Motherwell against Livingston. Fancy Motherwell for that one, to be honest. Where are we? Hibs, Falkirk, Motherwell, Livingston. We've got Dundee against Aberdeen. I think Dundee played well. Aberdeen, they're hot and cold, didn't they, Aberdeen? But Dundee are a decent team. I fancy Dundee for the win in that one, actually. St Mirren against Dundee United. Dundee United drew with Rangers, of course, the other night. St Mirren drew 3 each with Aberdeen. So that'd be a good game, that one. St Mirren versus Dundee United. Might watch that one, actually, if I can find it. You've got Kilmarnock against Rangers, so that's a tough game for Rangers, that one. Kilmarnock, they drew as well the other night. Can't remember who they were playing, but they drew anyway. Oh, it was Hearts. It was Hearts. They went away to Hearts and took a point there. 1 each. So there you go, Kilmarnock against Rangers. That's another potential banana skin for Rangers. And Celtic against Hearts, of course, is on the Sunday. Yeah, that was a a bit of a shock result. Rangers against Dundee United against Rangers 2 each. Not really a shock, but I did say it was a potential banana skin. But that's your fixtures for the weekend, everybody. So anyway, I'm away this time. That's your fixtures, that's your prediction, that's all that stuff done. Don't forget to get your guesses into the comments. In case you've skipped the podcast right till the end, don't forget to get your guesses into the comments for the big league table. I'm all over the place on my own again today, guys. We look forward to getting Xander back on Monday, hopefully. And I'll just leave it there. And all I can say is thanks a million to everybody who comments, likes, subscribes, and all the ones who are in the big league table. Good luck to all you guys. We'll leave it there and we'll speak very soon. See you later, guys.